It was buried in bogs for centuries. It caused riots when its price rose. It was once worth more than gold. This is the dark history of butter. Butter's origins trace back roughly 4,000 years to nomadic herders in Central Asia and the Middle East, who discovered that milk carried in animal skin bags, jostled repeatedly during long journeys on horseback or camelback, would naturally churn into butter. Ancient Sumerian tablets from around 2500 BCE contain some of the earliest known written references to butter making, describing it as both a food and a valuable trade good. For thousands of years afterward, butter remained a labor-intensive luxury, far removed from the everyday household staple it would eventually become. In ancient Greece and Rome, butter was viewed with surprising disdain. Greek and Roman writers frequently associated butter consumption with barbarian peoples to the north, particularly Celtic and Germanic tribes, considering olive oil the far more civilized cooking fat. Some Roman texts even used butter consumption as an insult, mocking Northern European tribes as greasy butter eaters. This cultural prejudice meant butter remained largely absent from Mediterranean cuisine for centuries, even as it flourished across colder northern climates where dairy farming was more practical. In medieval Ireland and Scandinavia, butter became so valuable that people buried enormous wooden casks of it deep in peat bogs for long-term storage and preservation. Archaeologists have unearthed bog butter that is over 1,000 years old, remarkably preserved by the bog's cold, oxygen-free, acidic conditions. Some historians believe bog burial wasn't purely practical, but may have also held ritual or religious significance, with butter offered as an item valuable enough to bury as tribute or ceremonial offering. During the medieval period, the Catholic Church imposed strict fasting rules banning butter and other animal fats during Lent, a religious obligation that created serious hardship in northern European regions where butter was a dietary staple. Wealthy individuals could purchase official church exemptions known as butter indulgences, essentially paying a fee for permission to eat butter during Lent. In parts of France, structures built partly using proceeds from these butter indulgences reportedly earned the nickname butter towers, a lasting monument to just how seriously this dietary restriction was taken. By the 1600s and 1700s, butter had become deeply embedded in European economies, particularly across France, the Netherlands, and Scandinavian nations with strong dairy industries. Butter production and trade generated substantial wealth for these regions, and government price controls on butter became a recurring source of political tension. In France specifically, bread and butter prices were tightly monitored by the crown, since sudden price spikes on basic staples could quickly ignite public unrest among struggling working-class populations. Butter's political volatility reached a breaking point during the French Revolution. Rising food prices, including butter and bread, fueled deep public resentment against the monarchy in the years leading up to 1789. While bread shortages get most of the historical attention, rising dairy and butter prices across French regions contributed to the broader economic desperation that helped ignite revolutionary anger against Queen Marie Antoinette and the French aristocracy in the years before the monarchy's collapse. The Industrial Revolution transformed butter production forever. Mechanical cream separators and refrigeration technology, developed throughout the 1800s, allowed butter to be produced far more efficiently and transported much longer distances without spoiling. What had once required painstaking manual churning could now be accomplished through industrial machinery, dramatically increasing butter's availability across growing urban populations who previously had limited access to fresh dairy products. In the late 1800s, a French chemist named Hippolyte Megamorys invented margarine in response to a challenge from Emperor Napoleon III, who sought an affordable butter substitute for French military and lower-class citizens. This invention triggered fierce, decades-long resistance from the powerful dairy industry, which lobbied successfully for laws in several countries, including parts of the United States, requiring margarine to be dyed an unappetizing pink color specifically to discourage consumers from purchasing it over butter. Butter's economic and political significance persisted well into the 20th century. During both world wars, butter was frequently rationed across involved nations, and shortages could quickly spark public frustration and unrest. In the mid-1980s, the European Economic Community found itself sitting on such an enormous surplus of unsold, government-subsidized butter that the stockpile earned the nickname the Butter Mountain, a striking symbol of decades of complicated agricultural policy and price controls across Europe. From ancient nomads churning butter inside jostling animal skin bags, to casks buried deep in Irish peat bogs for centuries, to a revolution partly fueled by dairy prices, to margarine wars fought in courtrooms and legislatures, butter's history reaches far deeper than most people realize. It has been taxed, rationed, worshipped, and fought over for thousands of years. The next time you spread a simple pat of butter, remember, this humble dairy product was once worth more than gold.